thinking about this the other day. You guys finished the fight with Virosa Moth, and you go back, and you're like, we're done. And then Patrick's like, actually, I don't think we're done. And then we all run back.
Oh, it's kind of good that you did.
It's like almost like, I think we left the stove on.
We should be live, by the way.
Groovy. Episode 6. Nope, that's not it. Oh, yeah, this is it. Oh, weird. Oh, there we go. Live now. Perfect. Let me just tweet this out. And we'll get right into the session. Let me retweet it.
Now, if you remember, there is two for his arms, two for his legs, one the small of his back, and the one in the back of his head.
Yep. As far as those strange meat-like vine protuberances from the dark, blackened and cragged earth are attached to Virosa Moth, or a form that resembles a flayed, half-formed Virosa Moth. Welcome back and Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome back to Rifts. We're continuing our combat versus this being that just described. Just as kind of a refresher how things are going, we still have our initiative from last session, so we're going to continue with that. But the beginning of every melee round, there's two things that I'm going to want to touch up on. And since we finished the melee round last session, so what we're going to be doing is I'm going to do a quick D100 roll. I have a little table here on how that affects the NPCs, because they're also fighting quite valiantly and quite intensely, because it's not just this attached form of Virosa Moth that's in this combat. It's a variety. It's about 12 to 15 different more of these horrible vines that have split up from the earth, filled with these spikes that are whipping around and attacking your companions. And your companions are doing their best at fending them off, allowing you to get to the heart of the matter, so to speak. And after I'm done with that roll, Marlis is going to chime in a little bit. He's not going to be giving like a big speech or anything like that, but his role, if you may recall, was to stay back at the Rhapsody in the radio room along with August and try to go through Patrick's notes and his own research and his own inferences to kind of give you some sort of insight or help when it deals with this thing called the Torpid Anathema. Okay, so first things first. Let's see how your friends are doing. They are actually doing extremely well. Bear and Blink in particular have worked together and have hacked off one of the vine-like limbs spewing from the earth. And you can see it gives this horrible black ichor that seeps into the soil, but another vine does not return. And they quickly break up to assist their other companions in dealing with these other vines. So that's a check in the good guys column. During your intense melee over the last 15-20 seconds or so, you do hear Marlis chime in, saying, listen, I'm not too sure exactly what this thing is, but I can only assume that it is not actually fully roused. If it is as large as Mr. Kinsman is assuming, it might be in a dreamlike or partial a woken up state. Whatever you do, my suggestion is whatever it wants, do not give it to it. Try to starve it out, starve it back into its full slumber. And that's pretty much all he says. And back, once I get the initiative open on my end, professional, All right, back at the top of the order, and we have Patrick. If you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to ask, considering it has been, a couple weeks.
Hey.
Hello?
Sorry, yes,
Hey.
it has been. Just not used to all this. All right.
Sorry, the long silences freak me out because I think I disconnected and no one heard me.
No.
Okay.
I'm just getting a few things open. I forgot to get to the initiative. There we go. Patrick mulling over the situation. He's gonna start spouting things like, "Don't destroy them, but hurt them," and then he's going to like shoot at one of the vines, probably one closest to its head.
So the one attached to its head?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a called shot for it. Make it harder by 2.
Oh, wait. No,
Yeah?
I gotta reload.
Okay, you spend your
Sorry.
action reloading.
Yeah.
I'm assuming this is your shotgun?
It is my shotgun.
Okay. So what are you going to load into it?
2 slugs.
Okay, 2 slugs. All right. Ow.
Hi.
Hi.
Well, so this isn't something we've had to deal with very much. I need to pick up my knife. What problems does that produce for me? I.e., if I bend over to pick it up, does that cause issues, or is there a danger I should be worried about?
No, there's no such thing as attacks of opportunity in the Palladium game. It just takes time for you to bend over and pick your knife up, so it would be an action.
Well, then I will unceremoniously do that.
Okay. I mean, I guess technically speaking, what an opponent could do is, as you're bending down to do the action, you do a simultaneous attack, and then maybe they try to like kick it away as you're reaching for it, or attack you while you're in the vulnerable position.
Mm-hmm.
But this flayed form of Virosa Moth is not interested in doing that. In fact, it's spending its action, and you see it raise up another foot or 2 high as the vines connected to it begin to clench and flex. It's a very macabre thing where it's a combination of vines and wood and plant, but also muscle and sinew. Imagine like a half-formed arm flexing its barely developed muscles. That's what it looks like. And as it flexes, as Al was stabbing into its head again and again, despite the acid spewing from it, it begins to reform. It begins to reshape itself, and its head begins to reincorporate into its physical form. Once again, no flesh on it, still just muscle and blood and bone, but no longer a pulpy mass. Instead, it's 3-eyed long form, and its body too begins to heal. Some of the large divots in it begin to lessen, and although it is not fully regenerated, it looks significantly recuperated. Tom.
All right. I'm going to, because at the end of last combat, I had to sheath my swords and take out the grenades and shove them in there. I'm going to unsheath my swords.
All right.
That's my turn.
Okay. Lavin.
Remind me, are there any of those zombie things remaining?
No,
at this point?
they are there were 2 earlier on. But as soon as they reconnected the vines to the main body of Virosa Moth, they just crumpled and dissolved away.
Okay, and are there any of those vine things that are currently hurt already, like that somebody already shot?
No. Unfortunately not. The only vine thing
Okay.
that is hurt is the one that was coming out of its mouth to attack Al. That one's significantly wounded, but unfortunately it's retracted back inside Virosa Moth, so you can't see it right now. But all the ones on its head and etc., those are still, they look as strong and ropey as ever.
Hmm.
I mean, some of them were damaged and broken, but new ones have come to replace them, right?
Yeah. Okay. There's one coming out of the back of its head. Is that right? Like holding up its head, or no?
Yep. Right to the back of its head. Well,
Okay.
you posted a very tongue-in-cheek thing of the
My
Matrix.
thing?
Yeah, well, no, but at least as far as the head goes, that's kind of like how its connection is, and right in the back.
Okay, that's gonna be where the shot's going.
Okay, so it'll be a called shot. It's a little bit it's a little bit harder to hit. So it's a -2, and you just have to get over a 12. But you have a pretty you're like Quigley Down Under. Yeah, you are like Quigley Down Under. Okay, so that's definitely a hit. So that's the head. Go ahead and roll damage, please.
Do. Come on.
21. Excellent. Your bullet goes repping right to the back of it, severing several of both the muscle and wood connections. Although not severing it completely, it looks about halfway weakened, approximately.
Okay.
Patrick.
Oh, I get to go again?
Yeah, it's
oh,
off
wow,
the order.
Huh.
There's only 5 of us.
So Patrick is going to go for the one on his back.
Okay, the small of his back, great.
Uh-huh.
Same thing, -2.
Sure. Guess he's going to get pretty close for that one. Yeah, okay. And yeah, roll 20 plus. Say, I think I am still. No, this is past the first one, so I'm not frightened anymore.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much
So-
all your horror factors. Those of you that failed, it was only for the first round, and the first round has passed, so you no longer have any penalties anymore.
Oh, I thought I had a -1 for the entire time. Now that
Oh, you might actually.
I think I did.
Yeah, you do. You do.
So
Never mind.
Any penalties for shooting
for
the
the
target?
small the back?
Yeah.
No, mine is just -2 because of its size. It's the equivalent of an arm, the size of an arm. So, -2. That's still a very good shot, way over 12. All right, go ahead and roll damage on that.
That is 4, yeah. 20.
Okay. Small of the back. 20. Very similar to Lavin. Your slugs go coursing through it, severing several strands of this horrible meat-like
shit.
vine.
30.
Why is it 30 and not 20?
The holy shotgun.
Okay.
Batman.
Yep, that's fine. Still doesn't sever it though, but my description is the same. Al?
Well, Al thinks they're doing good work, and he's going to try and help him out. So he's going to take his first action with the with Sharp, try and hit the vine at the back of the head.
Now hold up. When you say your first action, do you mean?
I'm sorry.
Are you making a dub? Mm-hmm.
Yes, sorry. I need to rephrase it better. I'm probably going to do a dual attack.
Okay, dual attack, so you won't be able to parry until your next turn.
Correct.
Well, you can parry, but it takes an action. No auto-parry.
I should also point out I'd like to spend the 10 PPE to mentally bring back up the armor of Ithan.
Sure, as long as you just mark off your PPE, please.
Doing it now.
Because I know you've been...
Yeah, I'm down to 39.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so...
Well, hold up a second. Armor of Ithin is connected to the power armor? Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
So it's a -2, correct, for melee. Like melee range doesn't matter; it's just a -2. So,
yep.
Okay. 30 to hit.
All right. And sorry, what were you attacking?
The vine at the back of the head, the one that Lavin. I'm sorry, yeah, that Lavin shot at.
Yep. Okay. And 17 is your damage.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You cut off a few more of the tendrils, but a little bit still hanging on, still connecting it to Virosa Moth.
Then he's going to use his blacklight blade to try and finish that off.
Okay.
So, and that is going to be a 16 to hit.
It's over 12. Now, did you do a -2 on that as well? Yeah.
Yeah, I did. It was only a +10 to the roll.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll damage, please.
Okay. 10.
Oh dear. That blacklight blade doesn't get a perfect purchase on it, and although severing half of the remaining, there still is just a strand or two, a meat strand and a wooden strand, still just hanging tenaciously onto the back of that head. Virosa Moth. It's going to make a called attack. It's going to open up its mouth. Its vine's going to come out, and its little grabber thing is gone. But it is going to try and trip you, Al. It is going to roll an attack at your leg. So that's harder by 2. 1d20, so +8. So 19, so that's enough to hit. So now what I'd like you to do is do a sense of balance check and make it harder by 20, please.
Is it possible to dodge?
Yeah, sorry, I guess I should allow you to make a defensive action first, shouldn't I? Bad Inferno. Inferno.
That's fine. Yeah, I'll try and dodge first, which is... All right. Okay. Hang on a second.
It's pretty much the equivalent of a melee attack, so there's no penalties to dodge due to the speed of the attack.
22.
Okay, so we'll just use up your action, and you actually move your leg out of the way, seeing what it's going for, and the growth out of its mouth harmlessly misses you. Good job. I did. So Tom, your turn.
Okay, I would like to attack the, let's say, left foot. The vine attached to the left foot.
Okay, the left leg, left ankle.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you guys were wailing on that before, but then they got replaced. All right. You know it's the standard -2, so go ahead.
12 exactly.
Okay. Well, tie goes to the defender. Wait, no, you need to get 12 or higher. Yeah, that's only. Yeah. I know. I'm being stupid. This is a 2-hit threshold. So, yeah, that's enough to hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
11. Ha!
Okay, you managed to sever off a few of the bonds, but not enough to sever.
There's my turn.
Not enough to X versus sever. Lavin, if you guys need I'm keeping track of everything here, so if you need a refresher on how damaged things are and what your targets, feel free to ask.
I pop the clip out of my Chaytek and fire in because it's empty, and fire in a silver rounds clip.
Okay. Silver rounds, interesting. Okay, Patrick.
Patrick is going to reload.
Again? Okay.
It's a double
Well, you
barrel
did do both
shotgun.
barrels. Yeah, I was about to say you're hitting it with both barrels, so it does an astronomical amount of damage. So it's only fair. Ow.
Well, let's see. So he didn't have to move too much. So the vine on the back of the head, you said it was still hanging by just a tad?
Yeah, just a teeny bit.
All right. He's going to try and finish that off with Sharp. See what he can do. Let's see here. Oh. 21 to hit.
Yep.
All right, 19 damage.
Severed. It is gone.
All right.
The strange vine-like protuberance is no longer attached to Virosa Moth's head. That's Al's action.
Mm-hmm.
For Virosa Moth. Oh my goodness, I can't even say my own bad guy's name. For his action, sure enough, almost right beneath him, the ground begins to stir, and another flayed version of those strange, mutated individuals begins to arise, with another one of those vines in its hands, moving towards its master. But that's it. That's all it does. Tom.
I would like to attack the thing that's moving towards its master.
Attack it? Sure. It's standard humanoid shape, so head, shoulders, knees, and toes, all that good stuff. Where you want to attack
toes?
I will go for the head. That's going to be a -6, right?
Yep, you betcha.
All right.
Remember our modifiers.
No.
As a miss, but it's enough to hit its main body. Go ahead and roll damage.
11 again.
Interestingly enough, Tom, what are you hitting it with?
Vibro sword.
Your vibro sword.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, Tom, you fought several times with your vibro sword before, and as you bring your blade down to hit it, it almost feels like there's almost no resistance. If hitting the chest of Virosa Moth was hitting a rotten log, well, this is like hitting an entire rotten person. It is putrid and mushy, and it's unable to form much of a shape. And your blade goes straight through it with very little resistance as you almost bifurcate this zombie-like creature as it falls to the ground and then soon dissolves into the earth, the vine in its hand completely gone. You feel a small stirring underneath of you, underneath the ground.
Cool.
As your action, Lavin. So heads up, the head is severed. Well, not the head. The head vine.
Yeah.
The small of the back is damaged, and the left ankle is damaged.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a shot with silver rounds at the one that Patrick had just previously shot, which I believe is the back.
Okay. Which is a small of the back. Great, fantastic. Go ahead and roll to hit. Wow. 12 gets it. Now I want you to roll damage, and Lavin, I want you to add 5 to that damage roll, please.
35.
The silver round goes coursing through the air, slamming into the vine in the small of the back, almost hitting exactly the same spot where Patrick fired his weapon, severing the vine in the small of its back. Top of the order, Patrick.
Patrick goes, "No, don't sever, only wound," and he goes for one of the legs got shot. He's gonna go for the other one.
So you're gonna go. So that was the left ankle. Now, so you're going after the right ankle. Okay.
Yes.
Yep. Go ahead. Roll to hit.
Okay. Oh boy.
Yeah, that's enough to hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Ooh.
40 F and 3. Holy shit.
Yeah, the other damage rolled very low.
You almost, a spray of blood and splinters goes out from the impact of your slugs. And when it clears, you can only see a few small fibers connecting the right ankle to this flayed form of Virosa Moth. Good fucking attack, dude. Al.
Al's like, that doesn't make any sense. He says, yeah, he's going to, so there's no one, there's not one on the back. There's not one on the back of the head. Patrick's one is hanging on by a few fibers. Al's very confused, but whatever. Patrick's usually right. He's gonna attack.
Usually right.
Isn't there a vine on the other leg as well?
Okay. Yes. There was the left ankle and right ankle. The left ankle has been slightly severed. The right ankle is almost nearly severed. There is nothing. You've not touched the ones on its wrists yet.
Okay.
Right or left.
Then I will do that. I'm going to do another dual attack, one for each wrist. One with sharp, and one with the black light blade.
Left wrist. Okay. All right. Wait, hold up before you start doing it. I need you to declare, do one attack at a time and say which one's right, which one's left.
Got it. So sharp is going to go to the right. No, go to the left because sharp's in my right hand, so that makes sense.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and roll for that one first.
All right. 30.
You rolled 1.
No, that one was for the damage.
Yeah. All right. So that was the left one?
Correct. Left hand.
Okay.
Squee, are you critting with those 19s?
Should I crit with those 19s?
Depends on your
melee
hand-to-hand.
attack. It depends on your hand-to-hand skill. Yeah.
Yes, I should be.
What's your hand-to-hand skill? You just
assassin.
checked on your character sheet, didn't you?
Yes. Hang on. Sorry, I'm multitasking. Yeah. So. Actually, my character sheet doesn't say. I'd have to look up hand to hand. How about?
Then if it's on your character sheet, then don't. Let's not just assume you have it. Then.
Right. I was gonna say, is it fine this time? Just say no because I didn't know beforehand.
Yeah, just to keep things going, and then look it up, and then you'll know for the future. So.
Will do. And then right wrist is gonna be the black light blade, which I forgot I have a macro for.
So. Well, you have to make it harder by 2 with your little macro.
Right. I did. So that's a 12. That's just barely enough to hit, I believe.
All right, yeah, and that's 18. Okay. Similar before, you sustained some decent damage on both the connections to the right and left wrists. Okay, that's Al. Virosa Moth gives this disgusting gurgle cry, and this time, 2 flayed zombies arise from the ground with vines in their hands. One here, I'll just make little blue squares. One right by Al and one across from Tom. That is their location as they begin to rise from the ground. Boop. Tom.
He's gonna ask Patrick for his turn. Do you mean don't attack those? What do you mean? And I think I'm gonna have
Patrick's
that
out of
in my turn.
actions, but yeah, you're gonna have to wait. Shit. Like if it was a quick, I don't know, Piph, I'll let you respond to him in 5 words or less, just to be fair.
All right. Patrick's gonna respond, shoot them!
Alright, well there's
Shoot
your
those
action there.
zombies. There's 3, there you go.
Okay, I'm gonna that's my action.
Okay. Lavin. I mean, hold up a second. Tom, if you want to attack while you're talking, you can. But it made it sound like you were hesitating and you didn't want to attack. You didn't know what to attack until you heard back from Patrick, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, then that will take up your entire action. Okay, 11.
I heard shoot them.
Yep.
I can follow these instructions. I shoot the zombie
You're
closer
very
to
good
me.
at this.
Just right wherever. It doesn't matter. Main body.
Okay. You're starting to, yeah, okay. Go ahead and roll damage.
Is this get the +5 as well?
Yeah, it does.
30.
Yeah, it blows right through the core of its being, and although the entrance wound in the front in its chest is small, the exit wound is massive. And it falls slumped to the ground, its corporeal form once again turning into this horrible brackish ooze as it sinks deep into the earth. That is one. Oops. That's not a selection thing. There's another one. No, just kidding. There we go. Now it's gone. That's Lavin's turn. Patrick is out. Al.
Okay. Well, Al's still very confused by this, but if I understand correctly, there are at the moment no undamaged vines.
Correct.
Okay.
Actually, they are all damaged now. You once again, the head is severed. The small of the back is severed. The left ankle, right wrist, and left wrist all have damage to it. The right ankle has the most damage.
Got it. Then Al is going to not attack those, and instead he is going to attack one of the zombies. I don't know.
Okay,
which
well,
one's
the only
close
one
to
that's
him.
still there is the one that is arising from the ground a mere few feet from your current location.
How convenient.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just. I'm not going to do a dual attack. I'm just going to do a one attack with sharp. And this will just be towards the main body because I don't know. Oh, and Piph was right. 19 or 20 for my hand to hand. So I know that from the future. I've added that to my character sheet.
Okie dokie. Yeah, great, wonderful. Live and learn.
Yeah.
Okay, your blade and wrist and arm punches all the way through it, and as it falls to the ground, you can actually see it goop and turn away from you as it dissolves into the earth. Getting rid of that zombie as well, and as it dissolves into the earth, right underneath your feet, Al, you can once again feel a shifting.
Ooh, that's ominous.
Yes. Virosa Moth continues to give this gargling chant as two more arise from the ground. This time to the north and south of its location, so right by Patrick and Tom. That's its action. Tom.
Alright, since I just saw the other two go exploding, I'm going to attack this one.
Okay. Roll the hit.
Another cold shot to the head. Yeah!
Yep. That's enough. Go ahead.
4!
4 damage?
Yeah, 4 damage.
This is a losing game because this thing has more actions than any of us. Inevitably, these things are going to come up unless Al can kill 2 per round and plug one of these things in.
Someone hold my beer.
So, anyways, this is interesting, Tom. It might seem like if this were against a living target that was trying to defend itself, this would be a small, gash along its cheek or something like that, right? But, and you weren't able to get a lot of force behind it or anything in particular hit in a critical area. But the second your blade tip hits its skin, in this kind of weaker attack, you notice a correlation, which is the second your weapon hits its form, it begins to dissolve right away. And sure enough, a small subdual scratch is enough in a few mere moments to cause this thing to fall to the ground. In addition, you've noticed now, because you've taken down a few of these things are not trying to defend itself or anything. It almost doesn't even recognize that you're present. That's your action. So that one is gone. Top of the order, Al.
All right. So, there's still one near Patrick, correct?
Yep, correct.
Okay. Al is going to go for that one. You know what? And Lavin does have a good point. Al's going to probably do a dual attack unless... I mean, he's going to do one attack if that's enough to kill it. You know what I mean? I can do that, right? That's like I can choose to do the second one or not, depending on how the first one goes.
See, no, typically no. I've been allowing it when you've been taking different targets or whatever, but no, because the idea is that, remember, this is happening in just a couple seconds time, right? So you can't do one attack, see a step back for a moment, be like, oh, that did some damage, and then do the other attack. The idea is that you are striking at the same time with your blades. So at the same time, you need to pick a target.
I think that's fair. Then my second question would be, the Zambi and Virosa Moth, are they close enough to each other?
Oh yeah, they're within a foot of each other.
So here's what I would like to do. I'd like to do a dual attack, sharps going towards the zombie, and if my memory serves, when I tried to stab into Virosa Moth, I had trouble getting my blade back out, correct?
Yes, you remember correctly. It's almost like it tried to grip or suck your arm into it, or at least your weapon into it.
So what I would like to try and do, since my blacklight blade's in my left hand anyway, I would like to try and slash Virosa Moth with the blacklight blade, but in such a manner that I'm not trying to jab it into it. I'm trying to slice it with the magical ethereal blade. I don't know really what it's made out of, but
you're trying to hold back your attack, so you're not pushing your momentum into it, but rather slicing against it. I'm going to allow that attack, but that's going to require some additional finesse.
Okay.
So if you make the attack harder by 4, then I can say you can do the attack with a very minimal chance of it trying to suck you in.
Okay, sure. I think that's I will do that. So I'll do the zombie first.
Okay.
And this is just a main body attack.
Sharp, yep.
22.
Yep.
18
And
damage.
the second, and sure enough, is the moment you plunge your blade into its chest, and it gives a small little gurgle and dissolves away in a bunch of blood and ichor. So that's that gone. So now go ahead and do your attack for Virosa Moth.
All right. That's a 1. I missed horribly.
Wait, good neuse.
Uh-huh.
You don't lose your blade.
I whiffed. I just got air.
You whiffed completely. You used too much finesse. You did so much finesse you missed your target, dude.
Yep.
Congrats.
Yeah.
All right, so that's your action. Virosa Moth's action is, once again, it gives this horrible chant like its mouth is filled with marbles or worms or something like that. And once more, 2 more creatures, flayed, horrible form creatures, come up from the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's it. Al.
Well, it's chanting. So Al's going to try and hit it with the black light blade again, and at the -4 penalty. However, he's also going to make things harder on himself. He's going to try and do a called shot for the throat.
Okay.
I don't know what kind of negative that would give me. I know the head's -6.
So. We're going to say -5, so in total it's going to be -9 to hit.
Got it. Which doesn't give me a big bonus, but hey. That's a 9.
So you hit its main body.
22 damage.
Okay. All right. The black light blade slides along its main body, creating a large divot into it, in which you can see almost nothingness inside its chest cavity. And that's it? That's your attack?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, because you're getting ready for it to attack you.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't bother to attack you, actually. Its chants stop. And sure enough, the flayed zombies that arise from the earth have now attached its vines, its meat vines, to its head and Small of its back. All right. Let me roll for the NPCs. Ooh. Oh, excuse me. Basilisk is knocked down. Actually, sorry. Basilisk isn't knocked down. Basilisk is grappled by the vine itself, and it's twisted itself around him, and he's fighting, feebly to stop it, and as it's flexing, and he gives several grunts of exertion and several curses as well. And although he doesn't look like he's in a mortal throw or anything like that, he's being really, really tied up by this vine-like growth from the ground. The through your radio this turn, Marlis continues to muse over the airwaves. If this creature requires sacrifice or blood, it must, in order to starve it out, you must prevent any sort of violent action. You must give it what it wants, what it craves. If you are on a ritual ground, the last thing that should be spilt on it is blood. That is, I think, the best way. You hear pieces of paper flick on through. He says, "This is just a theory, but it's the best I have right now." And that's that. Patrick. Oh yeah, and sorry. As soon as the vines are attached, the zombies slip away and dissolve back into the earth.
All right. Well, his friend is now tied up and definitely doesn't need something. He shouldn't have something get killed, especially his friend. But he definitely needs to take care of the main thing. Hopefully that will actually prevent.
If I'll give you a heads up. If it looks like Basilisk is about to off it, I'll give you a heads up. Right now, he's just struggling hard against this thing.
Okay. Patrick's gonna load up his gun with his magic fire bullets.
Okay.
Go. When they're severed, more zombies come. Don't sever them. He clicks his shotgun.
As you load your shotgun. Okay, great. Al.
Well, Al will shrug, and he'll attack the newly attached vine that's in the small of its back once, with the intent of hurting, not destroying.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah,
how much damage you roll.
It's the intent. Intent does not equal outcome. So
yeah. But it's a fresh one, so. All right, you did your -2?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, you did. So 17 damage. Great.
And that'll be his turn.
Good. At the beginning of this melee round, once again, for a few moments, Virosa Moth rises back in the air a couple feet, and once again that flexing of the vines themselves begin. And as he descends, you can see now that his midriff and head are now completely healed. But your keen eyes also notice that the vines themselves, the ones that are damaged, are not healed. They have exactly the same amount of damage they did before this whole flexing situation. Tom.
All right. Um, I'm not entirely sure what to do, so I'm just gonna attack the main body. None of the actual vines and whatnot.
Okay. Attack it with what?
My vibro swords. Just one of them.
Okay. Okay.
21.
All right. Go ahead. Roll damage.
5.
5. Okay. Now, I need you to do an opposed strength check with me there, Tom. I roll a d20 and you roll a d20.
Okay.
Beat a 9.
No.
You do not. Sorry, what weapon did you attack it with? Your vibro sword?
Yes.
Your vibro sword goes in to its chest, and its skin around it now grabs onto your wrist. You're stuck to this thing now, at least for this round until you try to pull your arm free.
Okay.
And your vibro sword is like inside of Virosa Moth. 11.
I am going to take a shot at one of the undamaged tentacles.
Okay, so the only one that is no longer damaged is the head.
Well, there should be 2, right? They just plugged 2 in.
Yeah, but there was a small the back that Al already took a whale on, and he hit it.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, that's enough to hit. Go ahead and roll damage. 29. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. You, about partially, almost a little over halfway through, you've severed its, several of the meat and wood tendrils. Patrick. Everything is damaged. All the vines are damaged in one form or another. Some more than others.
Yeah, he's gonna aim at looks like the least amount of wear and tear on it.
Well, that is a 4-way tie between left ankle, small of the back, right wrist, and left wrist. They're all within, with all due respect, 5 SDC of each other.
Patrick would say, when we're ready, sever them as quickly as possible, or remove him, like, pick up his body and move him away, trying to rip him off of them. And that'll be his turn explaining that.
Okay. I think that's fair. Al.
Okay. Well, I'm in a precarious situation where I'm not sure how to attack these without possibly damaging them too much. So, is there a way for maybe all of us to do a paired action?
A jive simultaneous attack?
Yeah.
Yes. If you could do it with 2 people, why not do it with everybody?
There's 5 of these things?
Yeah,
6.
There's 5. No, there's actually 6 of them.
I can get 2 with the dual attack. I mean, I can't guarantee it'll be enough to take them out.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because they...
But if you do like 3 rounds of all working together, simultaneously attacking, or like paired attacking, maybe.
Yeah, so I mean, I'd like to follow Patrick's words
I
and
guess
say
that's 2 because Patrick. Yeah.
Say, all right, everyone, together, like on 3.
I guess. Sure. However you guys want to narrative figure it out. Here's the other problem though. Tom is stuck. Hello?
Oh yeah.
We heard you.
Tom's arm is stuck in there, so he can't. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then Al would say that, and then at the same time he would like rush over here in his power armor and help try and pull Tom out.
Okay. So while you're saying it, you're rushing over and helping try to pull Tom out. Okay. How are you helping to push Tom out? Are you grabbing his body and pulling? Are you grabbing his arm and pulling? Are you trying to hack around the area around his arm? Like what are you doing to help?
It's kind of weird because I'm carrying knives. I think the best thing to do would be to kind of
moral support so you can
no.
do this, Tom?
No. Would be to kind of lock my arm. So like one of his arms is in there, right?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. Would be to lock almost like shoulder to shoulder, like lock my arm around his and pull and push to try and pull him out using the power armor. Actually, I'm not sure in this world if the power armor still has the augmented strength. I guess I'll find out.
Yes. So really what this is going to do, Tom, is I'm going to have you roll 1d20, add 5 to it, and I'm just going to roll a 1d20.
Okay.
Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. Ruh-roh.
No.
Yeah, you pull, Tom. Now, this is just Al's action, not yours, Tom. But Al, you pull and you pull and you pull, and god damn it, Virosa Moth has your friend in pretty tight. Virosa Moth gives a bit of a laugh, and out from its horrible, gargled, half-formed throat, it says, "Sacrifice! Sacrifice!" as it begins to try to pull Tom into it. Tom, we're going to do another opposed check, but it got really excited with this whole sacrifice thing, so now you roll a straight 1d20, and now I have to roll a 1d20 plus 3. Oh, no!
Oh,
Tom,
good. Yeah?
now, it doesn't all get into you, but, this is interesting. I didn't think I was actually ever going to do this attack, but I guess the die have made this happen. So, in a single horrible pulling motion, Tom, your upper body up into your waist gets sucked into Virosa Moth's horrid flayed form. What happens is that for a moment... Okay, how can I describe this? So, seconds before this happens, Tom, you can almost feel something hard and bony grab onto your hand, the one that's holding the vibro sword, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost starts to give like a pull towards you, and the gap in its torso begins to open more and more and more into this giant gaping black wound in which you get pulled into. When thankfully, are you in any form of like power armor, or is it just body armor?
I'm in the gladiator body armor.
Okay, but thankfully that has, in essence, its own oxygen system, which is good. Which means I don't have to describe the smell to you. Mm-hmm. But what it is that you are in pitch black darkness. But what you can hear is this horrible. Okay, do you know the sound of that cicadas make?
Yes, I do.
Imagine that, but imagine it's 1,000 cicadas. And they're all have this horrible, sick, chirping noise. That is what the inside of Virosa Moth sounds like. And you can feel that his torso is connected to the earth. And if you don't get pulled out soon, you're going to go down into the earth where those sounds are coming from. So that's your turn. No, that's Virosa Moth's turn. This is your turn, Tom.
All right, let's try and save myself. Woo!
You're up from the waist. You're up from the you're in from the waist down. Your legs can barely grip onto the ground. You can try to pull yourself out. It'll be much tougher. I'm gonna roll a 1d20 and add 8. You just roll a 1d20. However, if you fail, it doesn't mean it gets to suck you in more. You know what I mean? It has to do that for its attack. So it's just you don't pull yourself out, right? You're need some help. So I got a 26.
I got a 3.
3. So you guys can see from outside, poor Tom's legs are waggling and attempting to gain purchase into the earth, but it's just kicking up the black dirt, and he's not able to get a proper grip. That's Tom's turn. Lavin.
Well, I can move my speed. Is that right?
Yep. Or if you wanna spend your entire action running and just fucking bolt, you can do that too. You can move like triple your speed, and just not do any sort of attack or anything. If you want to run to Tom and help try to pull him out, and you have 2 actions, I'll let you do it.
I think I have 2 actions.
You have 3 actions.
Yeah, well, that's exactly triple my speed to get there.
Perfect.
So
you sprint over there, and you want to grab onto him and help try to pull him out, or do you want to like tackle him out, or what?
No, I just want to grab a leg with my robot arm and
okay,
pull his leg off. I mean, pull him out.
Hard as you can. Okay, so thanks to the bionic strength of Lavin's arm, Tom, you're going to get another check. And now Lavin has now completely canceled this out. So I no longer get my +8. I don't get my plus anything. I roll a 1d20, you roll a 1d20. See who wins. Okie dokie? Mm-hmm. I got 14.
15.
Oh my goodness. For a second, Tom, you feel like the rope in a tug of war game, and it is so black you can't see who or what has gripped onto your arm, but it holds onto your wrist tightly. You feel a cold hand clamp onto your leg, pulling you on the other side, and it takes seconds and seconds to pull, but you can feel the one on your leg is getting stronger. Lavin, you're pulling them. It's like pulling a person out of quicksand or molasses. There's so much resistance, but you're getting purchase. And sure enough, after about 3 seconds of intense pulling, you are victorious, Lavin. And Tom comes spilling out of the gap of the torso of this twisted, flayed form of Virosa Moth. And as soon as Tom exits the torso of the creature, that giant big black hole seals itself back up, knits its flesh back together, and it's back to its normal form.
Well, that's fun.
Good job, Lavin. Mm-hmm. Tom almost saw the Torvin anathema face to face. Patrick.
No, he's not confident in this plan, so he's not going to do that. I'm not entirely sure how to do this because, like out of character, like.
Yeah, if you want to talk about out of character a little bit, feel free to, guys.
Because if we want to do this whole 3-2-1 action, that means we're going to need to have everyone in position, ready, knowing what to do, and so on and so forth, and having enough firepower to actually take all of these things down on our terms. I think we have enough firepower. The problem is turn count is a little against us because it's still in the middle of this turn, at least for me. And I won't be able to help you guys actually take out the rest of them.
Yeah, we need to wait till the next melee round. That's what you're getting at.
I just used 2 more. Back off?
I have 1 shot for the rest of this round, so.
Actually, now I'm thinking about it. Have we tried fire?
Yeah, no, I was going to try to do that, actually.
Well,
yeah,
have me do stuff?
Yeah.
Well, you
okay,
can't
so here's
do
the thing.
Because
here's the thing. 3 things is wrong with that plan. 1, I'm out of ISP, completely dry.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2, I actually did use fire. Plasma, 2 grenades inside of its stomach. It did some stuff, but it didn't really, like, do amazing stuff.
Achilles heel,
Right,
clearly.
right.
Yes. I'm out of ISP as well. But don't forget that because of this circle, all psionics are nullified. So even if I did have ISP,
right.
I couldn't.
Yep.
So magic is halved and psionics is nullified.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, I forgot about that. So
it's almost like the GM knows.
Yeah.
It's almost like he crafted this entire thing to challenge you. Ooh.
the only way I could have is if I ran off the map, like 100 feet, if I recall correctly, or something.
Yep. It is actually is exactly 100 feet.
Yeah. And if I still had ISP, then I could start lobbing things at it. But I'm 100 feet away, which I do have the range for it. It's just I have no ISP. I'm dry.
Mm-hmm.
So, what we can do is either one of two things. Either A, try to keep this person generally just busy in the middle, or 2, help our friend. Because we have plenty of turns that we can burn to go over there, help him, and then come back.
Yeah, to help Basilisk. I could see helping Basilisk just to end the turn order and then coming back.
Sure. I was going to say, Basilisk is like right there. That black square.
Okay.
Yeah, right over here.
No.
No, the other one.
Sorry, the other one.
Oh,
that was the shotgun. Goodbye, shotgun. There we go. There it is. Black there. Yeah, bottom.
Hey, fun fact about my current idea going like, no, we have no idea if that would work. Was going like, that seems like a black hole that seems to be wanting to eat something. What if I just gave him my shotgun? What would happen?
Thank
you.
Always wanted a shotgun. Delicious shotgun. All right. Anyway.
Yeah. We can technically do both. But I'm not quite sure if in-game I would be that coordinated to do such things. Oh, no, I could probably just be like, how this, you keep busy with this. That should work.
Mm-hmm.
I'll sever one of them and keep him busy with zombies, I guess. We'll help Basilisk.
Okay.
All right, so your turn there, Patrick.
That was... I hate to take up turns of just planning, but, I mean, yeah. I think that's a lot of time that I took up explaining that.
It's realistic. It makes sense, right? It's yeah. All right, no problem. Al.
All right, which one looks the most damaged?
Of the vines,
Yes,
the right ankle, without a doubt.
Okay. Al is going to then use the blacklight blade on the right ankle.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, I should ask. Does it look like... So right now, Sharp and Blacklight Blade are fairly similar in damage. Does it look like the Holy Weapon does more damage than the other one?
It's hard to tell.
Got it. Okay. If it's hard to tell, then I'm going to use Blacklight because it has potential for more damage.
I mean, it's hard to tell because this guy's like a rotting log and his head is easily squished. You know what I mean? Like, this is not a conventional foe.
Right. All right. So Blacklight Blade to the ankle.
Yep.
21 to hit. And 23 damage.
I thought we were waiting until the next round.
No, Patrick just told me sever one and deal with zombies.
Deal with a zombie.
Yeah. Well, yes.
Yeah, so, it's severed. Its right ankle is severed.
Al starts looking for zombies.
Well, Al will have to wait for very long.
Yeah.
Hello, can you hear me? There we go.
Yes.
Al won't have to wait for very long because sure enough, more garbled words. Kind of sounds like also like wicked laughter comes from Virosa Moth's mouth, and a zombie starts to emerge from the right sector. Tom.
All right. I would like to approach the zombie and stab it.
Okay, roll a hit.
Okay. 12.
Don't even bother with damage. The second your blade hits it, it dissolves and goes into the ground.
Cool.
11.
I reload.
Okay.
Because the last clip I put in was mostly empty.
Just a couple. Patrick.
Patrick is going to help his now. No, he has one turn left.
Yeah.
He needs all of them for his next turn. I think he just doesn't have time to do anything.
That's fine. I'll be rolling for the NPCs. I mean, your other friends see what's going on with Basilisk, so like their role's gonna try to help him out and stuff. So yeah.
Patrick is going to extend his hand and try to he's gonna say a specific word, shooting star, towards the basilisk tentacle.
Okay, all right. I'm assuming that's like your jolt or like
energy bolt.
Energy bolt. Yeah.
Okay. So just half. I don't know what the hit for this is.
I think it's like a +3, so just make it a plus. Oh, we'll round up, so just make it a +2.
All right.
The tentacle is huge though, so there's no penalties to hit the damn thing, even with it wrapped around Basilisk. Oh yeah, that's a hit.
And this is also halved, so just halve the damage. It's 8 or 9.
We'll round up, so we'll say 9. So not 9 damage to that. Okay, that is going to give a positive, or like something that helps the NPCs during their D100 roll by 9. All right, we'll make that a -9 to the roll. Okay, good. That's actually excellent. All right, good job there, Patrick. Al.
Al is going to take a terrain hop. I don't use this enough in my power armor. I should. He's going to take a terrain hop. Oh, that's dead. Never mind. I was going to terrain hop to the zombie. Well, gosh, jolly.
You can hold.
Yeah, I'm just going to hold.
All right. So you're going to hold your action until it comes around to you again. All right. Sure enough, more noises coming from Virosa Moth's putrid mouth. And sure enough, the dirt begins to rise. The mulched up dirt begins to rise. And zombies right there to its left. Tom and or Al.
Sure, I'll act now.
I know you're holding your action. I had a feeling you were holding your action until zombies showed up.
Yeah. Al will run up and sharp it.
Okay, roll a hit.
25.
Yep. And it's gone. I'm just gonna be a little bit more. Succinct with my descriptions because I mean the same thing's happening over and over again, right? Tom, your turn.
I will hold my action for zombos.
Okay, holding your action. Great. Al.
Me again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only you, me, and it's only me, you, and Tom.
I was on the map, not the turn order. So, Al is in. Well, he's not sure what to do exactly because Patrick did say sever it and then just take out the zombies. However, doing nothing seems like an issue. I can't imagine. I can't imagine attacking this thing will hurt our cause in any way other than getting sucked in. So again, he's going to do the thing with the blacklight blade. We're just trying to strike it with the magical light. So the -4.
Yeah. Can I just ask a question real quick? Just because.
Sure. Yeah. Shoot on me. Yeah.
Can you take like any kind of preemptive defensive actions in this? Like, can I just say something like I dodge for my turn or I prepare to dodge or something like that? Is that a thing in Rift?
Not really, because what happens is typically in the combat, someone does an action, and then you can always take a defensive action.
So it's
right?
always responsive.
So yeah, it's always responsive. Yeah. Even if I sometimes forget that because I'm an idiot, right? But it's always responsive. Yeah.
All right, so 22 to hit.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll damage.
Really low damage. 13.
Yeah. Okay. 13 is main body. All right. That's Tom. That's Al. Sure enough, from the black mulched earth up here. Boop. Another zombie. Tom, I'll let you act and use your hold action as it arises.
I will attack.
It's like whack-a-mole.
Kinda. It's kind of turned into that, except I hope a lot more terrifying than whack-a-mole.
Yeah, it's true. Whack-a-mole brings up fun childhood memories. This brings up terror.
Yeah, good. All right. My job is done.
I was gonna say, don't say good. That's not a good thing. All right, Al is going to Blacklight Blade to -4 Virosa Moth again. Because this seems to be working pretty okay. So 15 to hit.
Yep.
And max damage, 20. Well, not max damage, sorry. Not even close, just 27.
27. Okay. That's that. And sure enough, more chants, more putrid speech. Down there. Tom.
All right, and I am going to try and attack this one. Haha!
Do you have the movement? Oh yeah, it's not that far away. This is all very close quarters. Okay.
Yeah. 12.
Down it goes. All right, Al.
Yeah, Al's gonna fall back to a plan he had earlier that he failed miserably on. He's gonna try and do the same thing, but as a called shot to the throat to see if he can stop the chanting.
Okay.
No idea if that'll make any effect, but it's a -4 and a -5, so
yep.
-9, right? So an 8. Nope.
So main body.
Yep. 21.
Okay. Virosa Moth is letting zombie come up now. There. Ow.
You know what? Kill zombie, kill Virosa Moth. Let's not take a risk here. Kill zombie. I was gonna run over and sharp the zombie. Yeah. Right. Knife it good.
Roll a hit.
19.
Yep. Whoops. Keep switching back and forth like a noob. All right. And that's that. That's your last action. And guess what Virosa Moth's last action is?
Surrender.
Nobody's surprise, I hope. No, he does not surrender.
Oh.
Zombo goes there. Begins to emerge from the earth. Okay, top of the melee round. We're going to roll for our NPCs, and I'm going to give a -9 thanks to Patrick's intervention, which is a good thing. Holy shit!
We win. Fight's over.
Okay, Okay, guys. This, so Patrick, while you shot off your
lunar ring.
Yeah, your lunar ring, thank you. As that goes coursing through the air, it actually severs the tip of this horrible vine-like thing. And it's enough for Basilisk to get purchased. And he begins wailing and wailing on this thing with his flaming blade. And sure enough, it's cut to ribbons. All around you, it appears your companions have gotten considerable second wind. And from Ezex, Alicia, and also Blink, again, they have defeated their foes. In addition, Lee and Bear and Yasmin seem to have the upper hand against their foes as well. The amount of vines that have surrounded you went from 12 to 6, which means 3 NPCs can now assist you in this battle. Which NPCs do you want in this central battle?
Ooh.
That wasn't. I didn't think that was ever going to show up. So now you guys have a major advantage here.
All right, so guys, which NPCs do you want? You know who I'm thinking?
Who?
Bear, for one, because he has 2 attacks, or he can attack twice with swords.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, I mean, I would say Bear's a good idea. I mean, you got it. Alicia's never a bad option.
Yeah, Alicia's never a bad option. Who's the third one? Blink?
Blink? Sure. I was gonna say Basilisk. He seems like a good fighter.
You know, we haven't actually seen Basilisk fight other than in the brothel, so why not?
Yeah.
All right. Bear, Alicia. Actually, it's Alicia, like that. And Basilisk. Okay. I'm going to have to roll initiatives for these guys, but give me a second here. I might as well just give them X's so we're all on the same roll. Okay. Oh, yay, Bear. And you know what? Here's the other thing, too. I'm going to give you bonus because you got that one, right? They're going to come into the fight because you guys have radio communications and you're all within shouting distance together. They're all coming in understanding what your goals are, right? So they're not going to be blindly and they're not going to spend half their turn being like, what do you want me to do, right? They're going in. They hear what you're doing. They've understood. So if I'm understanding this correctly, you want them to get in position so everyone can attack all the vines at once, right? Is that what you want your NPCs to be ready to do? Okay, great. Wonderful. I just want to make sure. All right, Alicia's got 11. And Basilisk has 9. So I'll just have to resort this real quick. What's your physical prowess, Patrick?
I'm gonna grab a drink while this going up.
Sure.
Physical prowess is that is an 11.
Yeah, Bear got you beat by quite a bit, so he'll go first.
Patrick is low stats and
here,
most
I'll
things.
just give him a 21 for the sake of simplicity here. Oh, yeah, we already did. And what's your physical prowess, Tom?
My physical prowess is 20.
Oh, shit. You're tied with Basilisk. What's your speed?
My speed is 15.
Ah, he's got you beat there. Okay, so he's gonna go just moments before you. Yeah.
What are we, clones?
What are we, clones? All right, now we're all sorted. So I'm gonna have to wait for Spiral to come back here. Because I want to know with Bear and Patrick's attack if... Well, no, they're going to have to spend their first action getting into position, right? So I'm going to just start the combat round as per usual. Oh, wait, no, Marlis still has to talk. Let's see. You were saying that it's... Okay, all right. Marlis would say the only other thing I can surmise is that it is absolutely has a symbiotic or essential connection with another person. If you sever that connection, it might appease it or stop it in some way. But once again, whatever it wants, do not give it. That's that. So, oh shit. Give me a second. You know what? Well, Spiral is.
I'm back.
Okay, well, you're gonna have to just wait another moment or two because it's just way too many tokens here. I'm gonna have to. I don't have to find it. I just have to open up my picture library and just get Bear, Basilisk, and Alicia.
Sure. Can I run to the restroom real quick?
Yeah, go nuts.
Alrighty.
All right. Come on, Bear. Where are you? Oh, there's Blank. There's Blank again for some reason. There's Lee. Well, here's an old school bear. No, I don't like old school bear. That's just a picture of a wolf head. I want new skew. I want the one that Criana drew. There he is. So bear's coming in from there. Where's our girl Alicia? Oh, there she is. She's coming in from there. And we already know where Basilisk is. And I'm going to... There's a picture of Basilisk. He was unveiled during that whole thing with Ishpaming. Oh, Smokes, Billix, Milo. Oh, I'm almost there. There he is. There's the man. Okay, now we just have to wait for Squee to come back. Actually, no, we don't have to wait. I can do Bear's actions in the meantime. So Bear is spending his entire turn running. How far does he need to go? Oh, God, he has that speed in a heartbeat. He runs, he vaults. Wait, I guess I should be fair. I made other people roll for this. Yep, he vaults over this stone circle and gets in position with drawing both. Well, he already has his weapons drawn. He gets into position. Patrick. Oh, God. Have I been talking to myself this entire time?
No, we got you. I think he must be AFK.
We got you.
Oh, he must be gone too.
No, I'm here. Okay. So I'm gonna hold my turn and hope Al actually gets that zombie because I have very little turns, very precious turns.
Okay, so you're gonna just hold your action for now, and then we'll wait for Squee. So I guess we have to wait for Squee anyway, but I saved us 15 seconds.
Yeah.
So yesterday I went on a 12-game losing streak in Heroes of the Storm.
Oh no! Did you uninstall the game? Did you rage quit?
I did rage quit. I didn't
rage
even say
quit.
anything. I just quit the game, quit vent, went to bed, didn't say anything.
Oh
So-
man, I hear you.
So, do you have like a group you usually play with?
We have a couple guys,
Alright.
but nothing serious.
Alright.
I'm terrible, or at least average at best.
So, what's your main?
Lost Vikings.
Oh wow, that's impressive. Those are a hard bunch to control.
I have Vikings at level 20, and everybody else is like somewhere between 10 and 5.
That's still pretty good. 10 and 5 means you spent quite some time in that.
Yeah, I've been just trying to get everybody to 5, get the gold, and unlock all the heroes. Sort of what I'm working
Right.
at.
Yeah, a couple guys at the bank I'm working at. They're really into Heroes of the Storm, so I joined them a couple times. and I kind of liked it, but it wasn't something I really wanted to grind my way through. I wasn't completely hooked on it.
Yeah.
But I can, because those matches aren't the longest things in the world, but they ain't the shortest things. They're probably like, what, average about 15 minutes a game? 10, 15 minutes?
20.
Yeah, so imagine 12 of those in a row and just not getting a single win. I understand before rage quit.
Yeah.
There have been a few games where not only have I rage quit, but I have actually rage uninstalled the game. I was so disgusted with the game. I'm like, get off my fucking hard drive. I'm never playing you again. Of course, like 2 weeks later, I reinstall it, but I get so pissed off.
Yeah.
Fuck this.
I will say, that game, Here in the Storms, probably has the best, like, free-to-play model that Blizzard has actually put together. Best free-to-play model that I can think of, actually.
Yeah, you definitely can play it without paying money if you want. StarCraft's free to play now. I think that model's pretty reasonable, although the co-op commanders are pretty expensive for what you get.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Squee. All right.
Back on topic.
So we're back in the order. Bears run into position. Basilisk and Alicia still have to get where. Well, Basilisk has his flaming sword, and he's like covered in like this black ichor too. Alicia has a ranged weapon. She is also in one of those kind of Buck Rogers, forms of power armor in this dimension. But she has her big ass plasma cannon. So, well, sorry, I guess I shouldn't say it's a big ass plasma cannon because that's completely anachronistic. It's a giant. It resembles like a giant rifle, like you saw Patterson's elephant gun, like maybe half the size of that, right? Still really big. Anyways, Patrick held his action. Al, your turn. There's still one kind of fleshless or skinless zombie over there in that blue square.
Well, I'm actually going to what do you know?
Quiet.
I'm
just
right,
kidding. No.
sure.
You can talk out of character.
Yeah,
I
mean,
his next turn, that vine's gonna get reattached, and we're gonna have a full one that we're gonna have to beat down again.
what do you mean? There's
the-
all
He means kill the zombie.
Last action. So this action, if he, it takes him 2 actions to reattach, right?
Right.
One to come from the ground, one to reattach. He's already come up from the ground.
Got it.
Yeah. So he's right there. And he just goes, reattaches, and then crumbles.
No, I know. Okay, so yeah, Patrick, you should have waited and let me finish.
Yeah, probably. I'm just nervous.
I was going to do a dual attack because the black light blade seems to be hurting this thing without getting stuck in it, and I would like to keep doing that. So sharp to the zombie, black light. Yeah.
Where are your position? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. So sharp to the zombie first.
Okay.
22 to hit, 16 damage.
Yep. Let's go.
And then black light blade. You know what? Not gonna risk going for the throat again. I seem to not be able to hit that anyway because it's pretty hard to do. So we'll just do main body -4.
But
What?
I thought we were severing all the vines down.
No, I thought.
Not
thought
yet.
we-
We were not all in position.
Yeah, I
think.
thought we weren't all in position to do that yet. I thought we were gonna be like, okay, everyone's ready now. Let's do this.
All right, Al took care of the zombie, and how much damage did you do? 20 to its main
20.
body? Okay. All right. So there's several black scars along its torso. But once again, the vines pull it up into a few feet into the air. The flexing motions continue, and how many's left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nearly every single scar that you laid on it, Al, has been healed over.
The key word there
Alicia.
is nearly.
Yeah, not completely, nearly. Alicia moves to the edge of the wall, props her gun against it, and she just gives a call out that she's ready. Basilisk also. Oh yeah, he's got the movements, but he can't do anything else. He weaves through this stone little gap and gets positioned right by Tom. And you hear him give a grunt. He goes, "Let's finish this ugly bastard." And that's his action. He's all ready too. Tom.
I'll give him a nod and get ready with both my swords.
So we're going to just say you're going to hold your action or ready your action.
Yes.
Makes sense. I'm not going to make you spend it. Lavin.
Same thing. Just say I'm ready and line up and hold my action till somebody gives the word.
Okay. I just realized someone had a good comment in this section. I confused Alicia with Blink for a second. Alicia has body armor or giant gun. Blink has the converted, the space power armor. My mistake. I had a brain fart there. So yeah, Alicia is in more like World War I, like body armor and her weapon. So, anyways, Lavin's also holding. Bear is also going to decide to hold his action as well, because he knows what you guys are planning on doing, and he's not going to fuck it up. All right, Patrick. It's back to your turn again. We can say like you act on Bear's turn technically, so you get to keep your action.
All right. How does this work? If I say I'll attack now, does everyone who is holding attack at the same time? Or do I have to still go through
this is what I'm going to make it. No. This is what I'm going to do, all right? Everyone who has a held attack just means they haven't spent their action yet, right? If you say everyone attack now, we're going to be doing like a paired attack, but with everybody, with the exception of Virosa Moth, although that would be hilarious. So then everyone uses up one action, and they make their attack.
All right. Al, do you want to join in on this and I'll have this super paired action?
Yeah.
All right.
Combo attack.
Combo. Okay, so for the sake of simplicity, what we're going to do is we're going to go from top to bottom with this pair attack, going with Bear, then Patrick, then Al, then Alicia, the Basilisk, Tom, and Lavin. Sound good? You're all acting at the same time, but we can only do one thing at a time. Make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, just give me a second, right? Because this is very important. You guys have spent a lot of time doing this, so I just want to make sure I have, okay. There's my left ankle. There's my small in the back. Damage there. Right ankle is gone, severed. There's our head. There's our right wrist and our left wrist. Okay, so there's 5 targets. Okay, I got all the SDC. I'm good. Here we go. So Bear is going to target the left wrist, and he's going to do both of his short sword attacks on that, okay? So, first he has to hit. -2. Okay, -2, so his is a +7 now. That's 1 attack and 2 attacks. Great, good job, Bear. 2d6 plus 5, 14 and 13. Okay, so that's... Ooh, so close. Bear slams both of his, not slams, but he cuts with both of his short swords in a single sweeping motion, and a few small connections still stick to the left wrist. Patrick.
Patrick's gonna aim. What is the closest one to me? Let's see. If that's wrist. That's head. I guess the other wrist would probably be Patrick's target.
Right wrist? Okay, yeah, the right one. Okay.
No, just. Okay.
Woo!
Good work, Patrick.
Yeah. All right. And go ahead and roll. Is your damage 26? No. I'm an idiot. Okay, just roll your damage.
All right, let's see. I'm already putting in the half for this because this is the fire shot.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And because it's coming from your holy weapon, you're gonna add that plus 10, right?
Yep, that sure is the case. Okay, I'm double checking to make sure that this damage is super correct. I'm almost positive this is 6d6. But I have to make sure that I'm not just pulling this out of my ass.
Well, if it's normally 66, dude, and normally it does half, but you did a critical attack, why don't you just roll your full damage? And that's like double damage right there.
60.
Okay, never mind. You got that figured out. But
wow.
Wait, so do you normally do 20-46?
I usually do 12. Since I use both barrels, and it would be, it would be 66 on my normal one.
Oh, okay. I see what you did here. Instead of doubling it, you just double the dice that you're rolling. Okay. I see. Good.
Sorry.
Good. No, that's okay. It's confusing that critical you double it, but there's half effect and all this other crap. The important thing is that 60, the fiery shot completely blows 3 feet of the vine connecting to the right wrist, completely gone. It is severed as shit. So that's one down. So right now you have the right wrist and the right ankle completely severed, with the left wrist nearly gone, and that's that. Okay, good job, Patrick. Now, Al.
Well, which one? I mean, I guess he's closest to like the left wrist, right? If Patrick is there. I mean, this isn't exactly a representation. Yeah, Al's just going to attack the closest vine to him that's undamaged. I'm guessing the right wrist.
No, they're all damaged. Okay, Squee, let me help you out. Let me help you out here, all right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you the 4 targets that remain, all right? The left ankle, the left wrist, the head, and the small of the back. The left ankle and the small of the back have the least amount of damage to it. The head has a medium amount of damage to it, and the left wrist has a massive amount of damage to it.
Got it. Okay, then I'm going to go for the left ankle because I'm going to do a double parry attack.
Okay.
All right, so we'll do sharp first. Sorry, I know it's a little hard to keep track.
No. I'm giving you 6 different targets, and I'm not telling you exact hit point values, so that's why I'm keeping track of this. So you guys can always ask these questions. It's fine. More than fine. So left ankle.
This is sharp, 18 to hit and 15 damage.
You did -2. Okay,
yes.
15 damage. All right.
And then black light blade is 11 to hit and 19 damage.
Okay, so 6, and then that is 5. Not quite enough. Very similar. It is still hanging on by a few threads.
Got it.
Virosa Moth.
Does the other people get to throw?
Yeah. Sorry. You're right. Because it's all a paired thing. My bad. I'm just so used to it. Okay, so we have Alicia, Basilisk, Tom, and Lavin. All right, Alicia. Alicia's gonna try to sever the one head. Yeah. All right, Alicia. 1d20. You're -2. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Holy shit. She got it right on the money.
Well, because it's Alicia.
Well, yeah, I guess I shouldn't be surprised at this point in the game. Eh?
I
All
I
right.
have never in my pen and paper career believed that dice really do favor certain people, but that NPC makes me.
Yeah,
there's
I
something
know, man.
about her.
Yeah. She lines up the shot, and you can hear a loud bang coming from her giant rifle, and a bullet rips through the air and completely severs the vine in the back of the head. Good job, Miss Alicia. So now it's Basilisk. So I'm going to give you guys a bit of a heads up here, all right? We got the small of the back that still it needs some damage done to it, right? But the left ankle and the left wrist are almost gone. Do you guys have a preference on what Basilisk hits with his flaming sword? It's a magic, so only does half damage.
One of the
I don't know his damage output, but I know Tom's is a little low.
Yes.
And I know Lavin does a pretty good amount of damage.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have him go for the left ankle. I'll go for the left wrist when it's my turn.
Yeah. I think
Okay. All right. Okay. Great. So Basilisk is going to go then for the left ankle because he's right next to you, Tom. So you can easily coordinate this.
Yeah.
All right, Basilisk, just don't miss, dude. -2 +5. Basilisk.
What does that do? Like, would it
It's
just
the main
hit-
body.
Oh.
Yeah, he hits the main body. So now we have to do a post strength check. Basilisk doesn't have any augmented strength, so he gets a 15. Oh, that's good. And it gets a 6. Okay, good. So Basilisk's weapon doesn't go through or get sucked into Virosa Moth. That's good. The bad news is that he missed the vine. So it is to you, Tom.
All right. I am going to switch up my tactics and attack both, if that's cool with you guys. Do you guys think I should, or just focus on one thing?
You can attack
Definitely both.
the vines, both the vines.
Yes.
Yeah, go. If
So
you
the
can.
left-
do it.
Yeah,
the left
I'm all
wrist?
for
All
it.
right. Yeah. Left ankle, left wrist. First one to the left wrist will be at a -2.
Wait,
so
you
that's-
have dual. You have dual attack.
Yes.
Yeah, it does.
You have paired
I've-
attack. Yeah.
I've
you
paired
have
weapons.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I just want to make sure. Just want to make sure.
It's all good.
All right.
So left wrist.
All right. So what are you? Okay.
Both of them
wrist.
are with vibroblades.
Oh, okay. Great. All right. Roll damage.
Damage is 5.
You lucky son of a bitch. That gets it right on the money. Like if you
Okay.
were one short. So that's severed. That was the left wrist. All
Okay.
right. Now left ankle.
Ah, son of a bitch.
Yep. You missed.
All right.
And what's even worse is that I need you to roll me a 1d20.
Yeah. 15. Just like last time.
Get stuck. Your arm gets stuck inside Virosa Moth. Just like the top of your arm. Now.
Oh, if we could see Tom's face.
Son of a bitch.
All right, Lavin. There is
Small of the back.
Head, small of the back. Yeah.
That's right. -2, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You hit the shit out of it.
Oh.
Small of the back is severed as well. The only thing that's still connected is the left ankle, which poor Tom and Basilisk cannot hit for the life of them. So that was all your paired actions, right? And that originated with Patrick, right?
That
Yep.
Yeah, originated with
I
Patrick.
think Al went too, so I think it's just Virosa Moth's turn.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be pretty unfair to let someone else attack again. Yeah, so it's Virosa Moth's turn. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 zombos emerge from the ground, groaning. But in addition, I should say, as all these things, all these vines, these meat and wooden vines, are severed from Virosa Moth's form, it gets more erratic in its movements and almost more desperate, one could say. Okay, that's Virosa Moth's turn. So then Alicia, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Alicia, girl, you want to be a big damn hero again? Let's shoot the left ankle. Let me see here. She is a +5 to hit after the 5d6. Yep. With another careful line shot, the final vine connected. She shoots in between Al and one of the zombies to hit the vine that is still tenuously connected to the left ankle. And as soon as it is severed, the flayed form of Virosa Moth begins to open its mouth in a scream as it falls to the earth. It opens its mouth wider and wider and wider, and instead of a bellow or human scream, what comes for it is the sound that Tom recognizes, the sound of thousands and thousands of sick, twisted cicadas chirping and croaking, coming from its form. It twists in a small pattern until it seems to get smaller and smaller and smaller. And this time, Virosa Moth's form does not turn into a goop. Instead, it looks like it has dried out, is becoming a husk, mummified before your very eyes, all the moisture being sucked out of its twisted, muscled, skinless form. As in a period of a few seconds, as that sound fills the entire ritual ground for minutes, eventually the sound subsides and the twisted, dried out form of Virosa Moth completely ends. It has now become nearly as petrified as the rocks around it. And finally, that horrible cicada sound ends. From beneath the earth, you hear another shuffle, and the remaining vines that were your companions were fighting descend into the earth. Another shuffle, and the red glow around the ritual ground and the cracks of the earth begins to fade. Another shift underneath the ground, and the light goes out. A final shift, and finally, darkness and silence.
Patrick breathes easy and then goes, "Ow, if you can, we need to move this body off of this land.
Got it. Al will bend over and pick up the body.
As you, so you touch the body.
Yes.
Okay, I just want a very small aside. There was an amazing thing on Twitter I saw, which was like a never have I ever game for DMs, and one of them was, and you asked your players, "Do you touch it?" And I'm like, that is something every GM asks. So you touch it, right?
Yeah.
So as you go to pick up the mummified form of Virosa Moth, by the shoulders or the arms or the low, its knees or whatever. As soon as you move to do so, it begins to break up into your hand like clay, like dried clay, as it doesn't dissolve or anything, but it crumbles underneath your touch. It doesn't descend into the earth or go anywhere. It just it's kind of like turned to clay. It's all crumbled up.
I guess I could get on the radio. God, what was his name? He was giving us research.
Oh, Marlis Stotch. Yeah. You get him on the horn.
Marlis, we seem to sever the connection. The body that it was attached to has started turning to clay.
Ah.
Or it has mummified, dried up.
I see. Well, I'm not familiar with that particular procedure, but if the body has not disappeared or reconnected with the original dominant creature, right?
From the signs, it looks like the creature has stopped being active.
Oh, good. Yes. All right. Then I can only assume that you severed the correct connection. Typically, in a symbiotic relationship, especially when it comes to the mystical, you understand, once a connection is severed between a master and a servant, we'll say, it is typically very fatal for the servant itself. And typically, if the master was, say, for example, another dimensional entity or an alien intelligence that was trying to get into the world, its connection is severed and it can no longer enter the world for typically a long period of time, until at least it can find another servant. Although I have right now a resting hypothesis that this entity, whatever it is segmented in a sense, or perhaps it is so massive, the interactions you had with it was not enough to rouse it completely. From what I understand, or the limited understanding I have of this torpid anathema, it sounded like it was something very, very large. And if it truly did wake up, I have a feeling we would have a much larger calamity in our hands. Perhaps only a segment of it was roused, or perhaps it was taken out of a dream state to a more restless sleep state. Regardless, I suggest you attempt to cast some sort of magic or use some sort of psionic ability in its presence. From my understanding, the ritual ground was protected and warded. If its servant, Virosa Moth, or whoever else might serve it, is truly dead, if the connection truly is severed, then the ritual ground should have no more sanctity.
Oh, so magic should be back at full power.
Yes, theoretically speaking. That, my opinion, would be the best litmus test to find out if, well, you're safe or not. Lee nods and he says, I got a little bit of gas in the tank still, he says, as he takes a few moments to say a phrase in a mystical phrase, and sure enough, a small glowing ward is placed on a stone nearby. He looks at it, he throws another smaller rock at it, it explodes when it makes contact with the ward, and he gives a satisfied smile. He looks over to the rest of the group and he says, yeah, that was its full effect. And I think Marlis is right. I think the connection with this torpid anathema is gone now. Lee scratches the back of his head and he sits down, taking a bit of a breather on the stone wall, and he says, what I don't understand is that this isn't like your typical connection between a shifter and a greater power. Those greater powers typically live someplace else, in another dimension, another world, in another time, and they reach out through rifts themselves. I've never heard of something living in the dimension and requiring servants or thralls or connection. This is not the torpid anathema, whatever it is, whatever it was. It kind of goes against most of my experience.
Well, I'm still mostly new at any of this. As he then, like, looks at his own hand, remembering that there used to be color to it.
Ezek heads over to towards you, Patrick, and he gives you a rough slap above your knee, and he says, don't worry, nothing can prepare you for anything. You just kind of go with it.
Al would look to Lee and he would say, is there any way to, I guess, consecrate this land to make it harder for anyone to wake this thing up a second time?
Lee gives a shrug. He says, maybe, but I don't know a lot of white magic rituals. I'm not a priest. I'm a shifter. I'm an old retired shifter that went back into the adventuring life. In addition, we don't even know exactly what it was, so what we have to consecrate would be difficult. This isn't a vampire or the undead or necromancy. This is something else. My best bet, and if you want my opinion, is that the way this whole Order of the Lapine conducted itself, they were a secret society of magicians and whatnot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which means it was secret knowledge. If everyone who knows the secret knowledge is dead or they don't speak, then no one's going to find this thing again, right?
Yeah, that is true.
So, that I think is the best way of making sure this doesn't happen again.
Well, the good news is that we've cut off the head of the snake. Now, if we can just get the golden rabbit and the confusion, we should be okay.
Blink blinks several times and takes off her giant clunky metal helmet, resting on the ground, and she says, well, it's not just that simple, I don't think. Typically I'm on the side of the law of this, and I understand the extenuating circumstances, but one of Tyrath's companions just killed the mayor of Veldis City, and you, Al, along with Mila and that Obsidian man, killed a very wealthy magnate. This, from what I can tell, there is law and order here, and the residents of this town are not going to take that lightly. In addition, she says, we closed the Rhapsody. people are going to start asking questions. And if we want to make sure we're not in prison or have to fight our way out, I think we're going to have to come up with a very good cover story.
Agreed. Inferno.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't there that day, so this was kind of handled off camera. When Ellie and I took out our target, were there any civilian witnesses?
Not that you could see, but it was you did ambush him as he was stepping out of an establishment, and although the streets were clear at the time, you were also distracted and trying to heal the Obsidian Man and drag him to your car and drive away. So you didn't have the time to take a thorough scan of witnesses. Honestly, there's maybe a 30% chance that someone saw something. Maybe.
Got it. All right. Al would nod. He'd go, good point. Aliases.
Yeah,
well,
I mean,
aliases.
Alibi, sorry. Headache. My mind's not thinking correctly. Alibis.
Beyond alibis and the law chasing us, we're still seemingly no closer to completing what either Tyrath wanted or the Spirits of Light wanted.
What are you talking about? We took out all 3 of the big bads.
But we still don't
have a golden rabbit? Or do we know what the swarm, the
no,
information
but
we're supposed to get?
But hold on. That the entire reason why we wanted to kill these 3 people was so then we don't have to worry about the Order of the Lapine impeding our progress. Now we could potentially just go and find the rest of the statues, get the rabbit, and not have to worry about them anymore. That was the whole point of this.
Yes, and to keep them from doing what they did to that cemetery again.
Yes.
I have an idea for an alibi.
Oh?
All ears, says Alicia.
Sorry, I'm forgetting one of them. Rose and her husband. His husband.
Angus and Rose Mackenzie.
Yeah, Angus and Rose Mackenzie. He'd say, they owe us big. What if we were over at their place having dinner? They're respected community members.
Yeah, I knew that. Or we could have taken a tour. And that could have been the actual tour of the museum.
Either way, I think that they would vouch for us.
Yasmin nods. She says, that does make sense. Although, she says, if you own a business and you want to just go over to some friend's house for dinner, you don't typically shut down the entire establishment. She says, your alibi would probably need another qualifier. The reason we decided to meet over there was probably maybe a big deal. Maybe we're going into business with them or something like that.
Or it was a memorial to their ex-employee, as much as that sounds distasteful to me.
Yasmin says, but we don't know their ex-employee. Why would we do a memorial? Well, she says, we'll have to establish that we've been friends with the Mackenzies for a long time, but we've just recently arrived in town.
Not if we pull it off as a PR stunt. We met him once, and we are new friends with them, and if we as a company are trying to turn this into a way to make us look good for business, people would buy it. They might not think we're the best for it, but they would certainly buy it.
Alicia shakes her head. She says, wait a second. If we're doing a memorial for him, that means other members of the public would have to be there. What kind of memorial would it be if it's just Angus, Rose Mackenzie, and us?
Al shrugs. Well, it has flaws. So, go ahead, Patrick.
Al does have at least going on the right track. They do seem to be the only members that have enough clout and would actually work with us on such a odd time. If we wanted any help from the citizens, that would be the one to take. Though, if what I'm hearing correctly from
Yasmin,
Thank you. It was like, it's not Alicia, it's not Blink. It was another NPC that was talking. Yasmin.
Yep.
If I'm getting Yasmin correctly, an own internal excuse for our own actions might also be a route we can take.
Mm-hmm. She says, exactly. We can just use the Mackenzies as an alibi. I completely agree with that. We just need to have the meeting with the Mackenzies be big enough to make sense of why we would shut down a business day, right? We would stop making money at the Rhapsody.
We could cause some damage inside the Rhapsody and say we had to close it to, renovate or repair or whatever emergency happened.
We did already say that one of these stoves was not working, or there was trouble with the kitchen.
But beyond that, Alicia has a point. What if we were talking to them about maybe including a small exhibit in our bar to help drive customers here and to the museum itself? Come to our bar and take a look at this new thing, Lawn Loan, from their museum.
Oh, it was Yasmin who suggested it, not Alicia, but that's okay.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Closing a business to set up new business, which really doesn't make a lot of sense why you close your business. I wouldn't. If I had a bar and I was trying to set up some new business, I wouldn't close my bar.
Unless we are setting up an exhibit.
Yeah, unless the exhibit is
in the
big
bar.
enough. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
There's renovations.
Yes.
You'd also plan that in advance so your customers weren't pissed off. You don't just close your bar the next day and be like, yeah, sorry, we're closed.
Well, bad planning is better than murder.
Yasmin suggests, well, why don't we do a combination? There's a problem with the kitchen, right? Maybe a major problem that requires some emergency renovations. We do some damage to it, and because we can't open the bar because our kitchen is completely closed, then we decide to take the Mackenzies up on our dinner offer. We all show up, and during the dinner, we pitch a partnership of sorts. Kill two birds with one stone. Not only does it give us a reason why the Rhapsody was closed, the Mackenzies can be our alibi, and we have a reason to say what we were talking about the alibi with the Mackenzies for.
Patrick says, all really good plans, solid. Problem is, he stops for a second. Last time I talked with them, even after our particular meet and greet and... Oh.
Sorry. Al says sorry.
After our meet and greet and also us working together, last time I talked with them, they seemed to be very eager. Well, the husband seemed very eager to get something for them. So if we were to use them, we better have a gift for them.
Alicia says, how about not kicking their ass? I think that's a pretty good enough gift.
That worked last time, but I know we're not going to be here for very long. We could offer an actual partnership.
I do not want to do any business with them. Not after they murdered them.
We're not going to be here for very long.
Al shakes his head. They murdered someone in cold blood, Patrick.
Look, if you wanted to kill them, we had our chance.
I don't want to kill them, but neither do I want to do business with them.
But don't we need an alibi?
Alibi is one thing. Al shakes his head. I get what you're saying. I don't like it.
If we're gonna be here for 2 days...
Al throws up his hands. Look, I know.
Lee says, there's one other thing you might be missing about going into business. I'm going to assume, and I hope it's true, that when we shuffle off to the next place, wherever these travelers went to, that we're going to be taking our ship and our behemoth and all of our stuff with us, which means there won't be anything left for the Mackenzies to take over.
Yeah.
Unless we count an underground brewery. But God knows what that actually is in our reality.
Oh man, I hope it's a brewery.
It doesn't change at all.
Lee scoffs and shakes his head and he says, 2 years ago, I would be wishing the same thing. Now I hope it's not.
Yeah, that's fair.
Regardless, it's pretty clear from what you've said in our debriefings with these folks is that Angus and Rose are pretty selfish individuals. At least, and God knows, they might try to betray us the first chance they get. If we sweeten the pot, they're more likely to stay loyal.
It's true.
Fair enough. So what do we sweeten the pot with?
You're right. The easy way out would be the partnership. Though I'm not quite sure what would happen if we just upset them with us leaving. But
what was I gonna say? No, not. Basilisk laughs. He says, "You know what you should do? You should say that you're gonna go away in a couple days to, because you don't want the heat on you because of this whole mayor killing and everything like that, and sign over the Rhapsody to the Mackenzies. But they won't know that when we actually do leave, we're gonna take it with us. They're gonna get shit. And what? When we're gone, they're gonna get pissed off. Who cares? Like you said, they're murdering fuckers. I think it makes more sense if we screw them out of the deal." Next laughs and he says, "I love that idea."
You know, I'm glad my sister met you.
Patrick goes, "But hey, that was my idea."
Basilisk says, "You gotta speak up louder then, son. I'm gonna take credit." All right.
Okay.
So, you guys have a plan? Is there anything else you want to discuss here, or do we want to take a more narrative path?
I'm good going narrative. I mean, obviously we would get out of here. I think Al would make sure to stomp on the rest of Virosa Moth's body to turn it into ash because, be thorough.
Just in case.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. The Virosa Moth is now just tiny clay ashy chunks. It doesn't even look like a humanoid anymore.
All right. And then, yeah, I'm fine going narrative.
Okie dokie. Give me just 2 seconds while I grab a drink of water here. But I only have to walk a couple steps with my mic still on, so this won't take very long. I know.
Blasphemy.
Oh, no, my little desk is like right next to my kitchen, so whatever. Okay. Oh, yeah. Rip Marshmark. Okay.
You take a staff? Get a staff.
Oh, yeah, staff.
Yeah, staff is still kicking around here. Okay. All right, who takes a staff?
Well, not me, but, somebody I'm sure wants it.
Yeah, absolutely. Patrick would probably, he would probably, go over to the staff, pick it up, and refrains from inspecting it too much, and takes it with him.
Okay, so I have a question for you, Patrick, while we pull back here for a little bit.
Do you touch it?
Do you touch it? Obviously, he touches it. No, while it's in your possession, over the next X amount of time, right? Would Patrick be interested in studying it, experimenting it, figuring out what it does, using your lore check, some research? Or is this something you don't want to mess with at all, and you just want to keep it for safekeeping and just kind of lock it away and not worry about it?
At the moment, I'm assuming that it's still night-ish time.
Oh, it's pitch black. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning, dude.
Yeah, no, he is, for one, terribly exhausted for multiple different reasons. Two.
No, I'm not talking about in this very moment. I just want to know.
Oh, general?
Yeah,
like
in
later
general.
on?
Yeah,
yes,
later on.
he would probably inspect it later.
Okay.
Now it's too much. He has too much respect for the person's like death to be like, oh, a thing that he dropped. Well, I guess this is mine.
Okay, exactly. Okay, yeah, no, that's all I want to know, because I think what it's really frustrating is and what I don't like doing is because the problem is if I put this in your possession and then in 5 sessions we're gonna forget about it, and then like 20 sessions from now they're gonna be like, oh yeah, what did that staff do, right? So the idea is I'm gonna tell you what the staff does and what it is. But we're going to say you don't discover this until like 2 or 3 days later when things calm down and Patrick has some downtime to actually study this thing, right? But since it's in your possession, I might as well tell you what it is, right? Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So first things first, I want you to do me a lore magic check. No penalties.
Magic.
Succeed by 36. Okay. So this will only take about 4 hours in general of study and experimentation. So the next time you get 4 hours of downtime, you want to, figure out what this is, that's when you'll discover its true properties. What this is a staff of metamorphosis, which means once per day, you can cast the spell Metamorphose Human and take the shape of any humanoid ever.
Oh.
It's assumingly what maybe Marshmark used as... because where dragons can transform and metamorphosize with their own, abilities? But maybe Marshmark was using this as a way to support that ability or allow him to do it more times per day or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
While we're on this note, can something similar be done with the dagger I took from that necromancer?
Yes. Now,
AKA
you don't
Patrick?
have any lore magic or anything, but you could give it to Patrick. Okay.
Yeah, I would ask Patrick.
Sure. Go ahead, Patrick.
Yeah, he'd be a lot more like willing to check this out.
Okay.
Okay. Succeed by 10.
All right. So now this will take you about half a day, like 12 hours or so to figure out and experiment with. But once you do, you'll discover it's called a Black Dagger of Sacrifice. And it is it's powerful, but it is wicked as shit. So, what it does is, first and foremost, it does... Okay, in this realm it does SDC, but it's actually a MDC blade. It does 3d6 mega damage, and it works for anyone who has a WP knife. Okay. It also, if the creature or if the victim is living in any way, it does an additional 3d6 straight to hit points. And if it kills the person, it gets a permanent +1 damage for every 10 kills it does. So right now it actually technically does 3d6 SDC plus 3d6 hit points +2.
When Patrick explains this to Lavin,
it implies that this
to touch the dagger.
He refuses to touch the dagger. Fair enough.
Do you say refuse to touch a dagger or do touch the dagger?
No, I'm not touching that.
Okay. That's Patrick nods and says, when we meet the... He stops for a second. Spirits of light.
Oh God, yeah. You just know. Remember that one spirit of light who blessed you, and you can no longer be possessed by anything as long as you stay in the path of righteousness. You know, to Patrick, you know very clearly. If anyone uses this dagger at all, that is an evil fucking weapon.
Yeah. This will not be good to use, of course, but I think showing them, maybe cleansing it, maybe we can do something with it.
Or at least safeguard it away from other people.
Ah, yes. Thank you, voice in my head.
No problem. No problem. I'm your conscience.
Eat.
Okay. Okay. All right. So now the question is you guys are gonna get back into your vehicle, and the question is do you make a stop at the Mackenzies early in the morning, or do you wait to talk with them? Do you wait to rest at the Rhapsody and talk with them the next day?
Oh, I think the sooner the better.
Okay. Yeah, just to get the story straight. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, I'll set the scene. It is you and your companions are weary after an intense battle, but you all agree that the sooner you get your alibi with the Mackenzies, the better. So you decide to do a sudden clandestine meeting over at the Mackenzie residence. Lavin and Patrick remember how to get there, and after 30 minutes of driving, you once again pull up to the driveway. Normally the valets would be there, however, no one is there because it is 4 o'clock in the goddamn morning. So you are left undisturbed, and I will now present you at the front of the mansion doors of the Mackenzie estate. What do you want to do?
I guess.
Let me take you to Mackenzie estate.
I would take off my spacesuit.
Well, yeah, okay. We can assume you guys like while driving or whatever, you probably change, because you're like spattered in blood and all this other shit too. So, trying to clean yourself up. Okay, that's good to make note of.
And then I would walk up and. Did they have doorbells back then, or just knockers? Just ring on the door. Yeah, I mean ring on the door. I would knock on the door.
Do they have doorbells? No, I ring on the doorbell. Fuck you.
I do what I want, GM.
You hit the knocker, and for a minute passes, and there's no answer.
I would knock one more time and wait one more minute.
Okay. You knock again, a little bit. You knock again, and sure enough, after another 40 seconds pass, you see a bleary-eyed servant open the door with just a crack, and he says, "Yes, who? Oh, it's you!" As he asks, his eyes widen. The sleepiness immediately gone as he notices the security specialists the Mackenzies hired of like 2 days ago, and he says, "What? Oh no, is this another?"
No, nothing like that. I apologize for interrupting you so late at night, but it is important that we speak to the master of the house.
Oh, Master Angus is in the middle of his respite. Are you absolutely certain this cannot wait till in the morning?
It is a matter of security.
Very well, he says, as he opens up the door and he invites you in. He says, "I invite you to stay here at the lobby while I rouse Master Mackenzie."
Thank you very much.
And sure enough, he lets you in. You You stay by there as he very balefully climbs up the spiral steps. A few minutes pass. A few more minutes pass. You hear angry Scottish voices far, far in the distance. And then what? Whoa! And then, sure enough, the servant comes running down the stairs very hastily, and you can see there's a fresh mark on his face as he says, "Mr. Mackenzie will be with you shortly," as he slinks off to the servants' quarters. Sure enough, you see Angus Mackenzie like he's straight out of Ebenezer Scrooge, with the nightcap and the nightgown and the whole thing, as he stands at the top of the stairs, and he says in a slightly sleepy but very peevish voice, "What in the blue blazes are you doing here at 4 o'clock in the morning?" Clearly not caring who overhears.
Giving you some good news.
"Oh, really? Have you never heard of a card or maybe a fruit basket?" says Angus Mackenzie as he descends down the stairs. "Well, I'm all ears. Let's hear this great news."
The leaders have been taken care of. All of them.
All of them.
All of them.
Did you hear me?
No, I did not.
Sorry, he says, "Whoa, what, just now?"
Earlier today, yes.
And he gets up close to you right there, and he says, "When you say taken care of, I'm assuming you mean eliminated. They're dead."
Yes, quite very much so. Virosa Moth most of all.
Really? Virosa Moth? But how about Pole Hill? He's the bloody mayor.
Dead. You'll find out tomorrow morning in the newspapers.
Gods. Well, what about Albert Sweet?
Dead.
You're certain of this? That man has a lot of wicked power.
I stabbed him myself. Is that certain enough for you?
Well, I suppose, he says, as he sits down on the stairs, in sleepy disbelief. "Hey, do me a favor." He looks over towards Lavin. "Can you give me a little pinch? I want to make sure I'm not dreaming."
No.
Patrick, you say, "I'm gonna do it."
I just love the pause.
No. He poisoned me. No.
He drugged you and said he poisoned you.
Patrick is going to give him a pinch, but he is tired and worn and has a strength of 9, so I'm unsure how much that will do.
Oh, come on. It's a pinch. You give him a pinch, and he says, "Oh, okay, thank you." Well, I'll be damned. The heads of the order are dead. Well, he has a bit of a smile on his face. Well, I don't know what's left, or what can be left, but as a part of our deal, I assure you that if myself or Rosie were to rise at any problems within this order, we will be staring very clear of you and your hunt for the little gold rabbit. Although, I imagine you're going to take this golden rabbit, eh?
Well, if it's in possession, I suppose, but we're hoping to just find it.
Find it, but what do you want to do after you find it? Sell it, I imagine. I'm assuming that's what you were hired to do.
Patrick goes, something like that.
Okay, so with no rabbit, there was no order of the lapine. I guess I'll have to just be my regular oh my god. Philanthropic self. There we go. There's the word Inferno was struggling with. Well then, I guess that's it. I guess you were right. You were stronger. And I did pick the right side.
We do need a little bit of help, though. Nothing that I think would be too difficult for you. Obviously, these were very high-profile people that have suddenly, well, been killed.
Yes.
We would need help with an alibi.
Oh, I see. I see.
Here it comes.
And what you're hoping to use me as an alibi?
That was the idea, yes. To say that we were at your house discussing new partnership ideas.
Oh, really? Says Angus. Okay, okay. I see. And that would make sense. Me and Rosie made quite a bit of a stink over at your establishment a few days ago. We could easily say that that was because we weren't really happy with your counteroffer, but you came over to our estate, what, tonight? Around what time did you come by here tonight?
And then GM, it would have been whatever time we kicked everything off.
You kick things off around 9 p.m. So, yeah.
Yeah. So I would say around 9.
Oh, okay. And we had a good time. And what time did you leave?
Well,
Late? You could have been here for quite some time. It could have been a very long negotiation, you see.
perhaps it got so late you put us up for the night?
Oh, maybe. Maybe I'll have to put you up for the night right now. Okay, okay. Now, here's the thing, Mr. Al. And the rest of you. And he looks at the various NPCs milling about his front stoop, and he says, "There's quite a few of you. That's possible. And see, me and Rosie owe you a big favor, of course. I understand. So we're easy to say the lie, but here's the thing. We have a serving staff of at least 20 people, and I'm sure they'll be questioned too, if necessary, which means I'm going to really have to convince them to lie. That was in their best interests. I have quite a few honest people working on my staff, so bribery will be expensive, if you get my drift."
All right, so out of character, are we all, as a player, I'm fine with this, are we all good signing over the bar to him?
Mm-hmm.
I love this idea. Al would nod.
By the way, it is totally Patrick's idea. I just was playing as Basilisk.
Poor Patrick.
Explains it. That's a terrible idea. Somebody else explains it. That's brilliant.
That's not the first time it's happened to him either.
Anyway.
Yeah. So Al would say, well, about that, our plans are to get the golden rabbit and to leave this dimension, which means that we're going to have a very lucrative bar and business that will need managers, owners even.
Really? Yes, I think that could be arranged quite nicely. Now, of course, we'll need the proper legal documentation, but we can't get it here at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'll take you at your word for now. We'll have a gentleman's agreement. So that's the agreement then. That's the payment for the assistance of myself and my ample waiting staff to ensure that you are here from 7 o'clock all the way up to 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock this very morning while you got some rest. And sure enough, you'll sign over the entire ownership rights of the Rhapsody Club to me.
Al will look at him for a while and he'll say, "Look, I've never made any I've never made it unclear that I am not a fan of how you acted, but I am also not one to hold grudges when it doesn't help me. When we leave, that bar is useless to us. And if it is what is needed to be done to do this properly, then you are more than welcome to it."
Huh. Well, Angus says, I'll agree to this, but I just have one question to answer my curiosity. The very fact that you're willing to sell a sizable piece of property over to me as payment for an alibi makes me think that what you're going to get for that golden rabbit is extraordinary. Come now, put it down into good old-fashioned dollars. How much are you going to get for that golden rabbit after all this?
We are going to trade the golden rabbit for information that could save hundreds of thousands of lives. So, $0 is what we're going to be getting for it.
Also a way out of here. This dimension.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, I'm not going to stand in the way of having you leave, and if you're going to sign over your ball to me, I'm not going to complain. So yes, says Angus as he brings out his hands, we have ourselves an agreement.
Al will shake his hand.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well then, I will go get Henry again, and he will show you to the guest wing of our estate. If I may ask for you not to remove your shoes, and not to run the hot water until after 7 o'clock in the morning.
Fair enough.
Wonderful. Henry, says Angus, says Henry, who was just floating around the other side of the wall, comes out, and he says, you may see our guests to the guest wing, and afterwards I'd like you to have a nice discussion with me in the parlor. Henry nods, and sure enough, he leads you to the eastern wing of the establishment, in which pairs of you are brought off into small but well-decorated bedrooms. Henry does not ask any questions. In fact, he tries not to make eye contact with you at all as he takes you to each of your rooms. And narratively speaking, you may rest or do whatever you like. And let me know when you want to get going in the morning.
Okay. What about everyone else? I've been talking a lot.
No, that sounds good.
Want to do a good old-fashioned D&D sleep cycle? We don't have enough time for that.
No, we don't.
No.
I want to get my spells back.
Shut up.
Well, if you guys want to stay up for protection purposes, I mean, it's almost freaking morning already, but Patrick is dead tired, and he will most likely just fall asleep.
You know, Al's gonna meditate. So,
yeah.
Which, by the way, great.
Tom being at 0 ISP, which is the first time in a very long time that this has happened, is going to pass the hell out.
I'm also curious, Patrick, just as a question for me, since meditation is as restful as sleep, does Patrick never meditate? He just prefers sleep?
I don't think he has meditation.
Any man of magic has meditation. So you and I both can.
Oh. Patrick cannot meditate for sleep. He needs sleep.
I understand. Like, as a character, it makes sense. Patrick, he puts on the PJs and everything.
As far as SDC recovery goes, give me just a moment. People always ask this. I should really just have this bookmarked or like copy and pasted somewhere. I really should.
Yeah,
Because I have to look it up every damn time.
I think
Every dang
76,
time.
if I remember correctly, but that's memory, so I can't really say that for sure.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. It's all here we go. Oh shit, I just skipped it. Recovery. Recovery of hit points and FDC. Non-professional treatment, professional doctor looks at Al.
Sorry, you cut out that. Yeah.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, yeah,
Yes,
we
we can hear you now.
Okay, yeah, there we go. All right, good. All right, so it depends on whether it's professional or not professional treatment. So the question is Al going to treat your wounds or not? Because that changes how much SDC.
Oh, absolutely. Al would lose all the sleep in the world to make sure everyone's treated.
Okay, well, don't worry about that. We're just talking about Lavin right now. And it's not while you sleep, it's two... SDC is restored at the rate of 6 per day. So you'll have to wait. You won't get those back in the morning.
Inferno, while you have it open, can you go ahead and just tell me those stats? I'm putting it in my character sheet so we can pull it up really quickly in Roll20 if we ever need to.
All right. So the rate of recovery for professional treatment is 2 hit points per day for the first 2 days, and then 4 hit points per day for each following day.
Got it.
And SDC points are just restored at a flat 6 per day.
Got it. And then the non-professional?
Well, why would you ever need to worry about non-professional?
I mean, that's true. That's a good point. So, all right. So I have it. I have that saved now. So if we ever need it, I can just pull it up quickly.
Hooray!
Is there natural recovery?
Yeah, that's the non-professional treatment. Okay, I guess we should put that too as well, which is 2 hit points per day or 4 SDC points per day.
Thank you, sir.
So that's your body naturally healing itself.
Then I get my 1 HP or SDC back. Yay.
Yep, in a day. In a day or so. Okie dokie. All right. So now the question is, of course, 2 things. All right. What time do you guys get up and leave the Mackenzies? And 2, what do you guys want to do next? In a broader sense of things, right? Don't worry about me like having the world react and all the NPCs come talk to you and all that good stuff. It's more about what your next plans are, right? Because you still want to get this gosh darn golden rabbit, right? So as a bit of a refresher for the statues that you need, you have the monkey, you have the bull, you have the rhino and the turtle, but you still need the sparrow, which was believed to be in the possession of Albert Sweet, the octopus, which is in the possession of Donna Wright, that nurse, and the fox, which is in the possession of Lawrence Carter, the radio star. So where do you want to go? Like, what do you want to tackle first? Now, the good news is that you're of the firm belief, and I don't want to, reinforce that or belittle it, that now that you dealt with the Order of the Lapine, the path of resistance to these statues are going to be much, much less, right? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, which one do you want to go after first? The sparrow with Albert Sweet, who's now dead, the octopus, Donna Wright, or the fox, Lawrence Carter?
I think there are really 2 ways we can go about this. The biggest one that is going to be the contention is Albert Sweet. Now, right now, we don't know where it is. It could be in a few places. It could be at his house. It could be at his work. It could be over at the mine.
Yep.
Somewhere. Mm-hmm. What we could do is we could try and devote our time and resources to tracking that one down, or we can wait until things cool down and people start going through his stuff and find it on their own.
Hmm.
That's what I'm kind of thinking might need to happen.
Yeah, we may want to not try to immediately start rummaging through a dead man's stuff.
Exactly.
Especially if we're trying to. Yeah. Why not send Dex Delaney to do it? He was unaffiliated with any of our actions last night.
Any of your shenanigans?
Yeah,
True.
Shenanigans.
True, that's true. We could send him. We could also go talk to.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No.
Okay. So what we can do, since I think I heard, if I remember correctly, Dex Delaney is saying that he has some connections with the police. Basically say, like, make sure you hard tap into their investigation into this, and make sure any sort of, like, telling of this particular statue, wherever sort of, if anyone spots this, basically tell us position and so on and so forth. Any information that would be relevant for it. So he doesn't need to look himself, he just basically needs to keep his ear to the ground next to the police station.
Okay. Oh, sorry. You're suggesting that, not actually doing that just yet. Okay, cool. But that is right. Dex Delaney did tout quite a few connections with the police department. He said like he's 50% successful just because he has good informants in the cops.
That's it from me.
Okay. I can't make you guys decide what to do.
So basically,
yeah.
What do you two want to do?
So why not go for? I mean, it's kind of a coin flip, isn't it? Which one we go for? So the nurse.
Nurse seems interesting.
Sure.
We have not interacted with them at all.
Yep.
So
yeah.
I think it's
Criana's
interesting.
never coming back. That's a weigh-in for the radio guy.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll
Hey, fair point.
If not, she can be NPC.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, Ellie still exists in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of think that talking to Donna Wright and seeing what's up and seeing if she's willing to either lend or sell us the octopus statue, that might be a cool direction.
Sure. You do have a bit of an in with Donna Wright already. Just as a bit of a refresher, because it's been some time, Dex Delaney was working over her sister, actually. He was feeling out the possibility of purchasing the that statue, and he was using the sister as kind of a go-between. So getting in contact with Dex Delaney, he can pass off that information to you and set up a meeting between yourselves and Donna Wright. So, in fact, like pretty much he would pass a message on to the sister. The sister would say, yeah, this guy's, legitimate. He's looking for these statues. Go ahead and meet him at X place, right? And you guys would be able to show up and talk with her. So that can still happen, right? So really, you just have to get in contact with Dex Delaney, and we can do it narratively speaking, right? Just name a time and place, and you can have a face-to-face with Donna right then and there, right? So it can be at her work at St. Vincent's Hospital. It could be at a coffee shop. It could be in an arena. It could be in the middle of the street. It could be at the Rhapsody, wherever you want, right? So she's the most accessible, right? She's the easiest to get to.
Sure. How about we meet her for lunch somewhere?
Okay. All right. Okay. So all right. So you guys have a plan then, a general plan, right? Gonna get the octopus statue by meeting with Donna Wright. Perfect. Now, if it's okay by you guys, typically I like to keep the session as close to our quitting time as possible. But it wouldn't really make sense because God knows what's going to open up with Donna Wright or that conversation or anything else in regards to that, right? So how about we just take a couple minutes tidying up any loose ends before ending the session, and we can start fresh in the morning at the Mackenzie estate with you guys leaving out touch base at the Rhapsody. Oh, actually, let's just go a little bit further here. And here's the big question, is what disaster is going to befall the Rhapsody to require it to be closed, right? And what damage do you want to do to your own establishment? Because we can get that taken care of right away, right here.
Yeah.
Right?
It needs to be serious
enough. So we don't have
to
worry about that next session.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it needs to be serious enough to warrant we can't be open. And we did say something kitchen related. What we could do...
Yasmin, go ahead. Sorry.
We could have a controlled fire after Tom has some sleep and whatnot.
Yeah, I was literally going to say, if only we had someone who was really good at controlled fires.
Well, the question is, can we control the smoke? Because that's something that might be a giveaway at some point. Like, why was there a fire the next morning, kind of thing? As an alternative to that, we could sabotage the electricity.
Well, you know what? That is a really good idea, but also this could be an interesting way to test out that interdimensional vacuum cleaner, possibly. I don't know what the fuck it is, but the new Zoot vacuum cleaner.
Interdimensional. It's like something from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah.
It's not interdimensional. You don't know
Space
that.
vacuum.
It's a magic vacuum.
One sucked up a man. The bag didn't even fill up. Sure, why not?
I mean,
So
we can.
Let me get this straight.
We can.
You're gonna just destroy the bar with a vacuum cleaner?
No.
Yes.
We're going to...
I don't know what this thing does, so I'm...
Okay. So what we're thinking of doing for now is do a little test. Make a small fire, possibly downstairs, near the sewer. Actually, maybe not near the sewer. Maybe in the vault. And see if the vacuum cleaner actually sucks up smoke. If it does, if it works, we can do that, conceal the smoke, whatnot. We're good. Otherwise, we can just go with electrical, like figure out a way to short out the electrical. I'm pretty sure that Jalea could figure something out, or even Patrick.
Oh yeah.
But it would have to be something big enough to warrant a oh shit, we can't be open because this is unsafe.
All right. Well, I'm gonna help you out here, right? Because right now we're in like a narrative space in the morning, right? Which is fine. So say you guys eventually go back to the Rhapsody. You go down to the vault basement. You start a small fire. You use a vacuum cleaner. It smokes up smoke just as good as any other tiny like dust buster, which is to say it takes a little bit of smoke, but sure as shit doesn't take all of it. Whatever its use is, it's not a smoke inhaler.
Plan B.
Remember, new Zoot, when he was trying to explain to you what it does in his broken ass English, he rubbed it on his own body.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Right.
I can't believe I remembered that. I hope I remember that.
You know what? I mean, we've got it in our hands. I'm tired of not knowing what this... Al's gonna rub the vacuum cleaner on his body.
It sucks out all your blood. You're dead.
Ah, no!
Oh.
Character.
All right. Silent night, here I come.
No.
I knew this would happen one day.
It doesn't seem to do anything. Not that you can notice.
Well, okay then. Al will turn it off and shrug. The mystery is yet to be solved.
Whatever, if it sucks up anything in your body doesn't have it in which for it to suck.
Mm-hmm.
Sucks at all your semen. You're now sterile.
Oh, good.
Because I've been getting so much action there anyway.
Good point. All right. Anyway. All right. So that answers that question. So now you guys are going to go down an electrical route. Okay. Yeah. What do you guys want to do?
Looks at Patrick.
Like Julia could be, but Patrick, he has some electrical engineering. Julia also definitely has a real affinity for machinery and a psychic connection to that, so she could also be of assistance. But
I mean, basically any kind of short.
What the objective is, right?
And looks like it wasn't too intentional. Like obviously we don't want to just cut the wire going into the place because that looks so obvious. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick nods, but then says, also, if I can understand this correctly, we are still messing with the Rhapsody here. We don't want to do too extensive of damage.
Don't mess with the Rhapsody. Mess with the power going into the building from the street. Right? Surely we have an exterior power source that's powering this.
That's an idea.
That is an idea, and I'm going to say yes. There is an exterior power source for sure.
So we could capture a bird and then throw it on the power lines.
That's mean, but yes.
Fuck you, bird. It'll be a magpie. Maybe no one's as sad that a magpie fries. At least here in Alberta. I'm teasing. I mean, I don't want to take the NPC to solve the problem. I mean, you can utilize the NPC, no problem. I mean, Julia does have her skills, but if there's something that Patrick can do, I think he should get the right of way here, so he can get the experience points for it, for lack of a better word.
I appreciate that.
No problem.
So exterior is going to be interesting. So I think I would like to try to have it at the source of coming into the building instead of the neighborhood. I'm not trying to knock out their power.
Okay. Well, there are power lines that stretch down your alleyway and does connect it to. The power lines do eventually go to a transformer that's in the alleyway about a block away. But yeah, as you mentioned, if you take out the transformer, you're going to knock out the entire block or two, right? But there are lines that do connect to the Rhapsody itself, and you're able to trace them back and find them. The lines then, oh shit, I don't know enough about actual electricity.
Yeah, me neither.
They have to go to
Well,
a
that's the
hub.
thing is this is tough for a player to solve when the character would know, but the player, I mean, how do we know about electricity?
Okay. You know what?
roll for
Then
it.
we don't. Yeah. You know what? We're just. That's what the rules are for. That's what the skill checks are for, right? Let's not get bogged down in the details. Let's just see if you're capable of it or not, right? So, what skill do you want to use to create a power short?
Since this is an electrical line, why not go with electrical engineer?
Oh my Gorn. Okay, so I'm gonna have you do the check, but see now this is kind of out of your wheelhouse. This is a dimension and a time period in which electricity, the fundamentals are all the same, but you're more used to different forms of electrical communication, right? So I want you to make it harder by 15, 1-5, and then tell me how much you succeed or fail by.
I love bargaining like this. Can I get an extra 5% for actually taking some time to research the radio?
Yes, you may. So it's -10. No, that makes sense. I mean, that's actually I love that player GM dynamic. Yep, no, that makes sense. Because part of understanding their radio is understanding.
Yes.
Oh my god!
I succeeded because of the bargain.
You win this round, Piph. Yeah. Okay. So. Patrick, after about a couple hours worth of testing and making sure you get the right one and not affecting anyone else, you are able to interfere with or cut with the power to the Rhapsody and make it look like it wasn't obvious sabotage, that it was a short, that it was a short or an overload. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
There you go. So there's a great reason why the Rhapsody was closed. All the electricity was out. You know, the powered ice boxes, everything, the stage lights, everything. You can't run a nightclub without lights. So there you go.
Fantastic.
The perfect time to go to our friends.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now that problem's solved. So we have that in our bank. So any last little things you guys want to tie up or any questions before we wrap up the session? We have the next goal really clear. You'll probably knock down the next 3 statues relatively quickly now that there's less, cult resistance.
Speaking of the cult, there is something that I wanted to do for a while. But we didn't do because of the threat of the cult. Are you guys cool with bringing Hannibal back?
Oh, sure.
Okay. So, you know what? We can also, while we're in this narrative space, or next day or two, Tom can take a ride out to that lovely little residence in the residential area of Velda City. Talk and play, with the dog and the kid and the mom, and eventually take Hannibal back to home. Make sense?
Sweet. Yeah.
Say you'll have Hannibal back in the adventure, for sure.
Sounds good.
Great. Boom.
Okay, we got the bird, we got the dog.
Oh, yeah. Poor fucking Rex. His name is Rex, right?
Yeah.
Your falcon? Yeah, he's still a statue. Yeah, he's still a Maltese falcon.
I'm still just assuming that once we're out of here, he'll be fine.
Fair enough. Fair enough assumption.
But yeah, I mean, I'm good. There's nothing I can think of really.
Okay. Yeah, you don't have to. I just wanted to give you guys the last say before we wrap up the session. But if we're all good, let's put everyone a good night.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ta-ta.
Good night. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.